Yo, what up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to go ahead and swap out the alternator on this G35. The G35 has what's called the VQ35 engine. I know a lot of you already knew that, but for those of you who don't, what that means is that once you go ahead and swap this alternator out on this G35, you could also do the sedans, you could also do a 350Z, as well as there's a few other cars with the VQ35 engine. So, process is pretty simple. Every alternator has what's called the tensioner that holds everything all together. Once you loosen that tensioner, you can go ahead and remove that belt, loosen up a few bolts, and disconnect two things, I believe. We'll check it out. But pretty standard across the board. Just depends on where your alternator is located at, how much grief it's going to give you. So let's go ahead and check it out, and I'll show you where I'm at. Alright, so I removed the battery out of mine. This is not needed to do for this job. I have it out because I'm actually working on other things. You're fine with just disconnecting the negative battery cable right here. I had to remove the battery to get this to this hidden fuse box. Again, we're working on getting the vehicle ready to sell. We want to take care of a few things to make the car reliable for the future buyer. So again, the wheel, not necessary to do. As long as you can get underneath the car, you're able to get this job done. One thing that once you do get underneath the car, you'll have to remove this splash guard. This splash guard got a few areas where it's bolted down to. You can tell up top, there's some spots right there. It also has these metal brackets in the back. They're held by these two screws right here. Make sure the metal bracket is tied into place whenever you are screwing that in. And then these two sides are also bolted to the side splash guards. So there's going to be two other pieces of splash guards that you can't see at the moment. I just left them under the car because, again, I just needed this part removed. I'm going to go ahead and reposition the camera. That way you can see what I'm doing underneath the car. I'm going to try to get some lighting. I don't want it to be dark. That way everything is pretty clear to see. Alright guys, so this is just a reference point or reference shot, how close the alternator is to the passenger wheel well. You'll see it right here. The tire isn't needed to be off, but it does make it easier to get to and move things around once you do have it off, so I would recommend it. This lower bolt is the first one I'm going to start off with. It's a 12mm. The bolt was on pretty tight, so I had to use a breaker bar. So this is your tensioner. You can see it's right next to your alternator. That center bolt is a 14mm. You want to go ahead and loosen that. This bolt on the bottom of the tensioner is a 12mm. Once you see the tensioner start moving, you know it's loose enough to remove the belt. Alright, removing the air redirector gives us access to remove the belt from the top. Alright, there's going to be a 14mm bolt. It's kind of hard to show. This is the bolt unbolted all the way. I try to outsmart it and get a wrench to see if I could pull the bolt off without having to remove the fan shroud. I'll show you in a couple different clips. That's not what happened. Okay, now that we know we can't outsmart it, I'm going to go ahead and have to remove the fan shroud. Here is a Phillips head or a 10mm bolt. Here's the other. It's only two of them, which is easy. take off the fan shroud, you want to remove the coolant line going from your overflow tank to the radiator. Have 3 of these little clips, one on the left, one on the right, and one on the bottom. This one is the bottom clip. Now I got a real clean view of this bolt that was giving me issues. Back to underneath the car, I have my 12mm socket on a nut holding the positive wire to the back of the alternator. Let's go ahead and get that off. Yes. So on the same side of that 12mm nut, you're going to have 2 small bolts. They're 8mm and the turning radius is minimal. This actually took me a long time to take off, so I just wanted to show you for reference. But again, there's 2 8mm and I had to use a wrench. I couldn't even get a socket head or a ratchet in this spot, so that goes to show. Alright, so now we got the alternator legit holding on by one connector. Don't do what I did, I just couldn't get it loose at the time, so I just figured I'll knock the alternator loose and disconnect it as I'm doing here. Alright guys, it's a new day. It doesn't take 2 days to get this job done except for me. It takes me 2 days. No, I just wanted to go ahead and pull out the alternator and set it aside to be able to take it to the auto parts store so I can get it tested. That'll save me money instead of just going out and buying a new one. Test the alternator at the auto repair store. There's a car passing, so give it a second. I've tested the battery, the alternator, and the starter. They all worked out great. That passes. It saves me money in the long run, which is great. Now it's just, is it some fuses? Is it a relay? Is it a cable, or just like the connector? So we'll go ahead and do the process of elimination. First, I got to get this alternator back in the car. I did buy a new alternator belt. However, they gave me the wrong size. They are not going to have my size until sometime this week. There's another car passing by. I'm going to go ahead and show you what I'm doing. We don't have to wait on it. I started with the lower bolt, the 12mm. Reason for this is because any other bolt is not going to hold the alternator in place while connecting, let's say, the 8mm or the nut even, or you could even do the 14mm bolt first. While we're down here, we might as well connect the connector back to the alternator. Now the 14mm top bolt. You want to torque your top bolt 14 to 18 foot-pounds of torque. In this case I did 15. the 12mm nut, the two 8mm bolts. We can put on our used timing belt now. Fan shroud. Bolt back in. Connect your 3 clips. Upper radiator hose and coolant overflow hose. Make sure you tighten both bolts on the tensioner. You want to find a happy medium in between, not too tight and not too loose, of course. So as you can see, the car turned on, which is great. It saved me money from having to buy an alternator, battery, or even starter. Really what it was the fuses. Who would have known? I probably should have checked there first, but I honestly didn't know there was this hidden fuse box there. Just being completely honest with you, I did find that fuse box, found 2 broke 10 amp fuses. I ended up swapping them with an air conditioning and a tail lamp just to test, and it turned out to work, which is really great. I'll go buy some fuses tomorrow. I'm waiting on that alternator belt to come in, so I'm going to leave the car on jack stands. I haven't tested driven it yet. But other than that, thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, like this, come support your boy, come check me out. Other than that, I'll see you guys later. Take care.